The words you speak are not just sounds that disappear into air. They are living things, vibrations that enter your body and settle into your cells, that shape the way you see yourself, that build the world you wake up to each morning. Right now, in this very moment, you hold in your mouth the power to heal or to harm, to open or to close, to free or to bind. And the beautiful truth, the one that changes everything, is that you can choose. You have always been able to choose. Most of us never learn this. We learn to speak the way we learn to walk, by imitation, by stumbling, by repeating what we heard around us. The voices that filled our childhood homes, the tones, the judgments, the criticisms, the fears spoken aloud at dinner tables and in hallways, all of it became the language we now use when we talk to ourselves. If you grew up hearing "you're too much" or "you're not enough," if you heard "don't be stupid" or "what's wrong with you," those words didn't just fade away. They became your inner voice. They became the way you narrate your own life. And here's what happens when we carry those old words forward, speaking them to ourselves year after year. We begin to believe them. The criticism becomes familiar, almost comfortable in its predictability. We wake up and immediately begin the litany. Too tired, too old, too behind, too broken. We look in the mirror and offer commentary that we would never, ever direct at someone we love. We make a mistake and respond with language so harsh it would shock us if we heard it spoken to a child. But we speak it to ourselves, and we think this is normal. We think this is just how life is. Your body hears everything you say. This is not metaphor. This is biology. When you speak words of criticism, your nervous system responds. Stress hormones release. Your shoulders tighten. Your breath becomes shallow. Your cells contract. The body does not know the difference between a tiger chasing you and your own voice saying, "I'm such an idiot." It hears threat, and it responds to threat. When you say, "I hate my thighs," the cells in your thighs receive that message. When you say, "I'm falling apart," your body hears an instruction and begins to comply. But the opposite is equally true, and this is where hope lives. When you speak words of kindness to yourself, your body softens. When you say, "I'm doing my best," your nervous system exhales. When you place your hand on your heart and say, "I am here for you," your cells respond to safety, to love, to the possibility of healing. The body wants to heal. It is always listening for your permission, for your encouragement, for your partnership in the process. And it begins with your words. Take a breath right now. Notice how your chest rises and falls. Notice where you might be holding tension in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your belly. Just notice. And as you breathe, consider this. How have you spoken to yourself today? What was the first thing you said when you woke up? What did you tell yourself when you looked in the mirror, when you made coffee, when you started your work? Were your words soft or sharp? Were they true, or were they echoes of someone else's fear? Most of us are running old scripts, playing recordings from decades ago on an endless loop. The script says things like, "You'll never get it right," or "Nobody really cares what you think," or "You're always going to struggle with this." These scripts were written by people who were themselves afraid, who were repeating scripts handed to them. None of it is the truth about who you are. None of it is permanent. But as long as you keep speaking these lines, as long as you keep giving voice to old judgments, they remain active in your system. They remain the story you're telling, the reality you are creating Breaking the spell begins with hearing yourself, not judging what you hear, just hearing it. Start to notice the habitual phrases, the throwaway comments, the casual cruelties you aim at yourself throughout the day. God, I'm so stupid. I look terrible. I can't do anything right. Of course this would happen to me. These phrases slip out so automatically that we barely register them, but they are working on us constantly, shaping our beliefs about what we deserve, what's possible, what we're capable of becoming. You don't have to attack yourself for attacking yourself. That just creates another layer of the same pattern. Instead, bring curiosity, bring gentleness. When you catch yourself mid-criticism, pause, take a breath, place a hand on your heart, and ask, would I speak this way to someone I love? Would I use these words with a dear friend who came to me in pain? The answer is almost always no. We reserve our harshest language for ourselves, believing somehow that cruelty will motivate us, that punishment will make us better. But it never does. Cruelty only creates more pain, more shame, more reasons to hide. Compassion is what heals. Compassion is what opens the door to real change. When you catch yourself in a moment of harsh self-talk, see if you can pivot, not to false cheerfulness, not to toxic positivity, but to simple truth spoken kindly. Instead of, I'm such a failure, try, I'm learning, and learning takes time. Instead of, I hate my body, try, my body has carried me through so much. Instead of, I always mess everything up, try, I made a mistake, and I can make a different choice now. These small shifts in language are not superficial. They are profound. They interrupt the neural pathways that have been carved deep by repetition, and they begin to carve new pathways, pathways of kindness, pathways of possibility. Your brain is remarkably flexible. It wants to help you. It will follow where you lead it. If you lead it toward criticism, it will find more things to criticize. If you lead it toward appreciation, it will find more things to appreciate. This is not wishful thinking. This is neuroplasticity. This is how we change. The words you speak to yourself matter, but so do the words you speak about yourself to others. Listen to how you introduce yourself, how you deflect compliments, how you narrate your own life when someone asks how you're doing. Do you minimize your accomplishments? Do you turn everything into a joke at your own expense? Do you speak about your body, your age, your abilities with contempt disguised as humor? This too is part of the pattern. When we speak diminishing words about ourselves out loud, we reinforce them. We make them more real. We invite others to see us through the lens of our own criticism. What if you stopped participating in conversations where people tear themselves down? What if when someone says, I look so fat in this photo, you don't agree or argue, but simply say, I see someone I love? What if when you're tempted to join in the collective criticism, complaining about aging, about weight, about not being enough, you pause and choose silence instead? Silence is not weakness. Silence is powerful. It is a refusal to feed the old pattern. It is a choice to step out of the cycle. And when you speak about others, notice the energy of your words. When you gossip, when you judge, when you speak with contempt about someone else's choices or appearance or struggles, you are not just affecting them, you are affecting you. Your nervous system does not distinguish between criticism directed outward and criticism directed inward. The judgment you speak about others trains your mind to judge. The harshness you aim at someone else's body teaches your cells that bodies are not safe. That appearance is what matters, that love is conditional on meeting impossible standards. This is not about becoming perfect in your speech. It is about becoming conscious. It is about recognizing that your words have weight, that they create atmosphere, that they shape reality. When you speak with kindness about someone who is struggling, you soften something in yourself. When you offer words of encouragement rather than criticism, you strengthen the part of you that believes in possibility. When you speak with respect about people who are different from you, you expand your capacity for love. Sometimes the most healing word is no word at all. We live in a culture that glorifies constant communication, that equates silence with emptiness or rudeness. But there is profound wisdom in the pause. Before you speak, especially in moments of anger or pain or fear, you can breathe. You can feel your feet on the ground. You can ask yourself, is this true? Is this kind? Is this necessary? Not every thought needs to be voiced. Not every reaction needs to be shared. Not every judgment needs to be spoken aloud. When someone hurts you, you can feel your anger without weaponizing your words. You can set a boundary without attacking their character. You can say, that doesn't work for me, without needing to explain all the reasons they're wrong. When you're afraid, you can acknowledge the fear without speaking it into permanence, without declaring, this will never work, or I can't handle this. Words spoken in fear often become prophecies we feel compelled to fulfill. Silence gives you space to feel without fixing, to be present without performing. The practice of pausing before you speak is a practice of coming home to yourself. It is a moment of checking in. What do I really want to say here? What is beneath the reactive words? What would love say? This pause is not about censoring yourself or swallowing your truth. It is about making sure that the words you offer are actually yours, not just old programming, not just habitual defense, not just an echo of how someone once spoke to you. Affirmations are one way to consciously reshape your inner language, but they only work when they're more than rote repetition. Saying, I love myself 100 times while your body clenches in disbelief creates only more disconnection. The power of affirmations comes when you speak them slowly, when you breathe them into your body, when you allow yourself to feel the truth of them, even if that truth is small and new and fragile. You might start with something simple, something your system can almost believe. I am willing to be kind to myself. Not I am perfect or I am completely healed, but I am willing. Willing is enough. Willing opens the door. Speak it aloud. Let your voice carry it into the room. Notice what happens in your body when you hear yourself say it. Does something soften? Does something resist? Stay with the sensation. Breathe into it. The affirmation is not a magic spell that bypasses your pain. It is an invitation to your nervous system, a gentle suggestion that something new is possible. As you practice, you can choose affirmations that address the specific ways you've been hard on yourself. If you've said, I'm too much for years, you might practice, I am allowed to take up space. If you've said, I'm not enough, you might try, I am complete as I am. If you've criticized your body relentlessly, you might whisper, thank you, body, for all you do. Speak these words in the mirror if you can. Look into your own eyes and offer yourself the tenderness you've been craving from others. The affirmation becomes powerful when it moves from words to embodiment, When I am safe is not just a sentence, but a felt sense of safety in your belly. When I am worthy is not just a concept, but a warmth in your chest. This takes time. It takes repetition, not as mindless routine, but as conscious practice. You are rewiring decades of conditioning. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate the small moments when you catch yourself mid-criticism and choose differently. Celebrate the morning you wake up and the first words you think are kind. What you will begin to notice, gradually and then suddenly, is that your relationship with yourself changes. And when your relationship with yourself changes, everything changes. You walk into rooms differently. You make decisions differently. You no longer wait for permission from others to take care of yourself, to rest, to say no, to pursue what lights you up. The healing in your inner dialogue radiates outward in ways you cannot always track or measure, but others feel it. When you stop speaking words of judgment about yourself, you stop inviting judgment from others. When you speak to yourself with respect, you teach others how to speak to you. When you refuse to engage in self-deprecating humor or constant apology, you give others permission to do the same. You become a presence of peace in a world that is so often harsh and rushed and critical. You do not have to announce this. You do not have to preach or teach. You simply live it, and living it is the teaching. Children especially feel this shift. If there are young ones in your life, they are watching how you speak to yourself. They are learning from you what is normal, what is acceptable, what love sounds like. When they hear you say, "I'm so stupid," they learn that this is how we treat ourselves when we make mistakes. When they hear you criticize your body, they learn that bodies are problems to be solved. But when they hear you speak kindly to yourself, when they see you pause and breathe and choose gentler words, they learn that this too is possible. They learn that we can be on our own side. Your voice is medicine, not just for you, but for everyone who hears it. When you answer the question, "How are you?" with honesty, but not with drama, with presence, but not with complaint, you offer others the gift of realness. When you speak words of encouragement to someone who is struggling, you plant seeds that may bloom years later in ways you'll never know. When you choose not to gossip, not to criticize, not to add more harshness to a world already heavy with it, you create space for something gentler to emerge. This does not mean you become passive or silent in the face of injustice. It does not mean you stop speaking truth or advocating for change. It means you learn to speak from love rather than from fear, from clarity rather than from reactivity. There is great power in words spoken from a grounded heart. There is great power in saying, "This is not okay," without dehumanizing the person you're addressing. There is great power in setting boundaries with firmness and without cruelty. The practice of healing speech is lifelong. There will be days when you forget, when you fall back into old patterns, when the criticism flows before you can catch it. This is not failure. This is being human. What matters is that you notice, that you pause, that you begin again. Every single time you choose a kinder word, you are healing. Every single time you speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you cherish, you are healing. Every single time you catch the harsh phrase before it lands and choose silence or softness instead, you are healing. You are healing not just your own wounds, but the wounds of all who came before you, all who taught you to speak harshly because that was all they knew. You are breaking a chain that may have stretched back generations. You are creating a new pattern that will ripple forward into lives you may never meet. This is sacred work. This is how we change the world, not through grand gestures, but through the small daily choice to speak words that heal. Let yourself feel right now the possibility of this. Place both hands on your heart. Feel the rise and fall of your breath beneath your palms. And speak to yourself as if you were speaking to someone you love completely, someone whose happiness matters to you more than anything. You might say, "I see you. I know you're trying. I know you're doing your best. I am here with you. You are not alone. You are loved." Speak it aloud. Let your voice fill the space around you. Notice how your body responds. Notice the softening, the warmth, the opening. This is your birthright. To speak words that heal, to use your voice as an instrument of love, to participate consciously in the creation of your reality through the language you choose. You are not powerless. You have never been powerless. The power has always been right there in your mouth, in your throat, in your breath. And now you are learning to use it wisely, to use it kindly, to use it in service of your own becoming. The world needs your healed voice. It needs the words you will speak when you are no longer at war with yourself. It needs the encouragement you will offer when you have learned to encourage yourself. It needs the kindness you will extend when you have learned to be kind to your own heart. Every word you speak ripples out, touches someone, changes something. Speak words that heal. Speak words that open. Speak words that remind us all of what we truly are beneath the fear and the judgment and the criticism, beings of light, worthy of love, doing our best to find our way home. You are finding your way home, one word at a time, one breath at a time, one choice at a time. And the home you are building with your words is a place of safety, a place of warmth, a place where you are finally allowed to rest. Welcome home. Welcome to the healing. Welcome to the beautiful, brave practice of speaking words that set you free